Let's fight. It's Poshway Monday, and we are happy that you guys are with us. Let's fight, guys. Share the live stream, retweet, subscribe. Wherever you're joining us from at home here in Guyana, in the Caribbean, in the diaspora, internationally. Welcome in the ring, folks. You're going to want to get your popcorn. You're going to want to get some cokes. Not the type you ship to Belgium. Not the type you ship to Belgium, folks. Welcome in the ring, and really, really glad to have all of you guys. You're in a good place this evening. I can promise you, you're gonna leave much better with with more valid, credible information than when you started. Good than when you start, guys. Good to have all of you. Share the live stream if you are now joining us. We are very, very happy to have all of you. Hope you guys have had a good day at work, that you all put in you give the people the pound of flesh for the money. Give the people the pound of flesh for the money. Guys, we are really, really happy to have all of you guys. And we know that you guys are going to share the live stream because you see value in us. The same way we see value in each and every one of you. And like we said when we left you over the weekend, we don't care whether you're PPP, TUF, whoever you be. You understand me? When you come in the ring, you got to fight. You got to fight, folks. Welcome again to each and every one of you. Lots and lots of stuff happening. If you guys are reading our status, my God, lots of stuff happening. It's madness in Madhia. It's Bacchanal in Bartica. All over this country, everywhere is flood. And we're going to be sharing some of that information with you. We're going to have a guest or two with us tonight. And we are going to go through the paces with the hot topics. Flood, 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 flood. Guys, share the live stream. Thank you guys for coming on. Share the live stream. We have that. And then what on God's earth is happening at St. Stanislaus College? What is happening at Saints? We heard there was a student who would have committed suicide last week, and we're getting some information from that is troubling on so many levels. Troubling, troubling, troubling what's happening at Saints, and our thoughts and prayers go out with that a young woman's family who lost her life there. The deceased, we made to understand, was cremated just today, one Sarah Nurain, and our thoughts and prayers with all our friends or colleagues there at St. Stanislaus College and in her community where she hails from on the west bank of Demerara. Good to have all of you guys here with us nonetheless. A lot of names calling here. Priya name calling. Fazia Bash name calling in the St. Stanislaus issue. Rebecca Prasad name calling. The current head teacher there. The board chairman of Mr. Finance, he name calling. A lot of names calling there. And one hopes at the end of the day that this family is able to receive closure, for having lost, one so young, a young member of their family. Who knows what Sarah could have gone on to become? She wanted to become a medical doctor, and her life was cut short. And we hope that her peers, they're receiving the necessary guidance and counseling there in the school system and even in the community. Even in the community, folks, we got to watch out for each other. We got to watch out for each other. Good to have so many of you. I'm so ready to get into the information, but some of you take so long to sign in. And folks who are joining us on YouTube, guys, good to see you guys. Good to have you guys there. And all those of you who are going to come back and watch this this show, this production, this program. We're happy to have you with us. We know because we look at the back end and we see what happens. And folks tell us too when they call us that a lot of people, because of how they work, because of different parts of the world they're in and picking up this program, they watch us and repeat. And we're seeing our YouTube channel is blazing, folks. So our YouTube folks, we love you guys, and we're happy that you guys choose to spend this time with us. Whatever hour you choose to spend this time with us. We have an hour here, and whether this hour for you is from 11 to 12, perhaps when you get home and you are settled in and the family is tucked in and so on, you get a chance to catch up on the day's events. But we are happy to have all of you guys with us, all of you guys. So again, welcome in the ring, and I want us to start. Do we have that up? Do we have our Yeah, I think we have it. Our hot topics, guys. I'm ready to get to it. I am ready to get to it. And so I want to start by again just giving you a bit of what we know coming out of Queen's College, coming out of St. Stanislaus College, rather, and the death of Sarah Norine there in third form. We heard that there was an incident at school, and Sarah wasn't coping with this well. Her friends say that she felt a little pressured, a little. Um, I'm using the word bullied here very, very broadly, um, and that several persons in the administration, um, you know, she felt this way about. Again, I was made to understand that the current head teacher there is one Rebecca Passad. And we are, from the information that we have, we are examining Miss Passad's role in this whole, I wouldn't even want to characterize it as a fiasco, but this very, very sad situation that the school is grappling with. And then there's one Fazia Bash, who is the former head teacher, or rather the substantive head teacher. There's some arrangement there where Miss Bash is on secondment to the ministry, and her friend who used to be the head teacher at Tutorial High School is now there holding set for her, and a whole host of things. I'm getting information from both students and teachers. And I really want to make sure that we have some more information before we really and truly delve into this in information and tell you what we know. But we're hearing these names calling. Priya Manik Chan, we made to understand that Miss Bash, Fazia Bash, may have been Priya's teacher at Queen's College. And hence now she is seconded to the ministry, and yet has a lot to say with what transpires at St. Stanislaus. And then Rebecca Prasad is now Fazia friend, we made to understand, who used to be at Tutorial High School. And now this whole issue with everybody name calling regarding the untimely demise of Sarah Naram. But folks, as we get more information for you, we're going to have we're going to really and truly delve into this issue of how one so young could have chosen to take her own life, and what were the circumstances surrounding this. We heard there was a note that she was made to sign by the school, and a whole manner of things, and we're trying to get all the information for you. As soon as we have that, folks, we are going to delve into that issue the same way we've been covering the Charlotte Dover issue, and we're not done with that yet. We're going to give you guys an update on that issue shortly as well. But folks, as we are looking to what is happening in our nation, we are still 1 week later, 1 week and days later, we're still grappling with the effects of this massive flood in all 10 administrative regions of our country. All 10. Just today, an international magazine would have reached out to me trying to get a sense of what is happening here, because they know they're not getting the all of the information from this installed regime. So from region 1 to 10 is affected by flooding, and even region 8 that was a little more spared than the other region is now inundated with what is now flooded. We're going to be talking with somebody who understands the anatomy of region 8 and what is taking place there a little later on our program. That being said, folks, all 10 administrative regions are currently flooded, and here is what is happening in some of those regions that are really affected. So, for instance, we know, and it has been acknowledged by the installed catfish Irfan Ali, that this is one of the worst disasters. These are his words: worst disasters in our country's history, and yet the administration has not thought it fit to declare a state of emergency as yet, with all that is transpiring and the major dislocations that are happening. And we're advised that they're going to come to Parliament and ask for $10 billion towards flood relief efforts. That's to tell you the scale and the magnitude of this problem. And we strongly believe that this is not even touching the tip of the iceberg as it relates to what is going to be the cost to build back. It's like this administration installed catfish administration is cross. it is cross. And as we would say, it crass. The crass. Since they have come in August 2nd, 2020, it has been one conundrum to the next, one calamity to the next, one purgatory to the next. Right? And just over the weekend, we had the fire at the mental institution there in Region 6. Right? The fire there. We made to understand that one of the inmates is still missing. Some person said they saw him on a jet ski heading someplace. But we're following that, and we're going to have the latest on that information. Folks are adamant they saw this one inmate that is still missing on a jet ski heading someplace. But we're still looking at that information, and we're going to have the latest where that is concerned. So there's now the admission that this is one of the worst disasters in our country's history. But talk is cheap. Action is something totally different, because from the administration's actions, you won't get the sense that this is the worst disaster, one of the worst disasters in the country's history. The way they have been dealing with it so haphazardly, favoring their constituents over other Guyanese, or all kinds of madness. Just when you think they would not be playing politics, folks, well, same old PPP. So there's that admission. And then we're seeing that, for instance, in Region 7, there are hundreds of farms that are destroyed. Hundreds of farms that are destroyed, according to the Civil Defense Commission, because of this flooding. Hundreds of farms. And we're going to be talking about some other action happening in Region 7. Madness, right, in Madhia. And you got Bacchanal happening in Bartica. And we're going to be talking about some of those issues, folks. Share our live stream. That's one of the things we say is the cost of admission. Don't just come, you soak up information, you put a whole ton of comments. There you're abusing, down you're fighting. Share the live stream. We want everyone, as far as possible, to benefit from the information we're giving you guys this evening. So hundreds of farms, according to the CDC, the Civil Defense Commission, is flooded out, damaged in Region number 7, right? Well, I hope this is credible information, because the CDC don't even seem to know, what is happening in some places. They don't even seem to know what are the numbers of the regional people in some of these regions, right? From information reaching us, the CDC seems a bit lacking, right? A bit wanting. So we hope that this information is correct, but according to the Civil Defense Commission, hundreds of farms in Region 7 have been damaged because of this flood. Look what's happening elsewhere. Region 8, we're seeing, right, some of the mining camps look like Region 10, Kokwani, right? You aren't seeing them, you're just seeing the top to tell you the height of the water there. Right, so Region 8, as we told you, that was one of the regions that were a little spared. Well, that isn't the situation now. Inundated by water. So we're following that, folks. As you come on, this is what we're following also. Region 3, Canal number 2, still suffering from flooding. And we know this is the same thing in Canal number 1, for instance. Still a lot of water there. People say the water it's going down gradually. There's still intermittent rainfall, but lots of the houses there. Region 3, Canal number 1, Canal number 2, still very much underwater, folks. So that's another situation that we are monitoring there, right? On the flood front, again, we're seeing more flooding still. Right, Maikoni River remains in deep flood waters. And on this front, folks, the Installed Catfish Administration, they have been saying that the conservancy there has not been breached. But residents are saying, farmers are saying that water is inundating the land, is flooding the land because the conservancy has been breached. Folks, if it comes between the ordinary man and this installed administration, I understand the ordinary man where belief is concerned. I don't believe one thing coming out of the mouth of this administration. I don't believe one thing coming out of them. One thing. So Maikoni River, this is region number 5, still flooded, still a lot of difficulties there with folks. A lot of difficulties there with the folks in region 5. So as you see, we're going across the regions. Region 10 still affected, right? Kokwani is one of those places, but lots of the places in more central region 10 still affected, right? And we were catching up with Mr. Deron Adams over the weekend, the regional chairman of Region 10, who's doing some fantastic work in terms of bringing relief to the folks in that region. Fantastic work, right? And some of the PPP regional chairman can take a page out of Deron Adams' book there, right? So we are all of this we're grappling with, folks. All of this we are grappling with, right? Remember we said that Ali installed catfish, no first degree Ali, said that this is one of the worst disasters in Guyana's history. Well, you would think it's all hands on deck. So while all of this is going on, billions of dollars in damages, billions of dollars in losses to residents, citizens, farmers, you name it, right? While all of that is going on, look at what some people focus on, right? Look at what some people focus on. This is Indar. That infrastructure under the Fisher Bishop. Look what Indar focus on. Intended removal of GCOM trio has nothing to do with race. This is what he focused on. He got a critical portfolio, right? And you think he will be talking something about showing up, making sure that canals are dredged and desilted and bridges are sturdy and reinforced and draining this water off the land as quick as possible. You think he would talk about pumping, right? Pump here, pump there, pump. No. Intended removal of GCOM trio is not about race. So his boss and tell you at catfish and tell you that this is one of the most dangerous floods in Guyana's history. He ain't getting memo yet, right? He ain't getting memo yet. And while his attention is focused on that, this was on the ministry of one of these solo photographs on the Ministry of Public Works, his ministry Facebook page. And I told y'all, in some instances, before you get a bag with little bleach, the bottle of bleach probably costs $400. This little bag of rice probably is not even $1,000. But everything gone up, so maybe they are, right? To degrade you and insult you, right? That is PPP in power. You're eating from we. They send you to put on your new AFC t-shirt. Well, folks, I rather suck salt. You understand me? I rather starve. Before you see a picture with me getting a bag from them. You understand me? Folks, if you're in a bad shape and you need it, just like the vaccine, I said to you guys, get all the facts and then make a decision. Similarly, I can't tell you, don't take the food, right? I can't tell you, don't take the food. You understand me? But I am putting myself through that. That's what I can tell you. I am not putting myself through that. What is occurring there? Right? What is occurring? I will show you a similar situation at Rosignol, where you got to put your name on a list. But the list is only passing by some people. You got to put your name on a list. But this list, only some people getting to put the name on this list because they belong to the PPP. Right? While we should be focused on the national flood people, look the PPP. 12 staff from the Public Procurement Commission sacked, sent home. National flood compounded with COVID, or COVID compounded by a national flood. Right? And the PPP sending home staff. Sending home staff. That is what you have happening. Right? And also you have, watch this, worst flood in a generation. Right? The other catfish, Freddie Kessoon. Look his focus. Before he tried to give some inspiring words to the Guyanese people, look Freddie at Kaitro News focus. David Granger betrays Forbes Barnum. This is June 7th. The worst of the national disasters we have faced. Right? And to prove to you that Freddie is one of them patients from the mental institution in Berbice, David Granger betrays Forbes Barnum. This is his biggest issue. On the 7th day of June, the biggest issue, the biggest thought in his head, national flood, COVID-19. David Granger betrays Forbes Barnum. Right? So I was telling you guys, all 10 regions are affected by this national flood, folks. All 10 regions are affected by this flood, and I want to show you some of the extent of it, right, within the last 48 hours. Some of the extent of that flood over the last 48 hours, and then I'm going to have a guest joining me as we look at as we get down and delve into some of the issues in Region 7 and also Region 8. Right? As we unpack. As we unpack, folks, we're gonna have that information for you. Bear with me. Look what transpired just over the weekend. Just over the weekend. I wanna show you guys this. Right? Viewers discretion advice. I'm gonna warn you that. Right? And I can tell you this: get your popcorn and get your cokes and put it on. More thing coming up. Check and see what transpired over the weekend here. And this is, hold on, let me get this thing queued up properly. Let us get it queued up properly. This is region. This is all over. Let me get it queued up. I want you guys to see what is transpiring in our country. See and hear the plight, and people still operating as though, you know, nothing much happening. Right? Take a listen to this. People are suffering.
They call break themselves, Vicky. One little thing you gotta go up. One little head you gotta go up. Sas can't reach your Bobby gotta go up. No, they call don't break, a bury break. Come on, board outside the house there. This bull not dead, you know. All the bull is not dead. Wow, ano naman breed yet? All of that, the man who more dead again. Hey, what up the black hole? My, I save their life and I go away. What up black hole? What you family? Watch out! Lash in here. Try to save your life in here. All them bull belly peace. So jump back. I'll never upload this one, man. Oh, why you check out your water when I see feel? You get a rope in a fucking string.
So guys, that is just some of region 6. I want to share with you. I want to invite one of my guests who's joining me this evening to walk us through some of what is happening, for instance, in region number 7, and then we're going to delve into some real Bacchanal story in region 7, especially where Bartica is concerned. And let's welcome MP Jurita Finance this evening up in the Hizza. MP, welcome.
Good night, Sherrod. Good night, everyone.
Good to have you in the ring boxing after a very long time.
Well, it's good to be here. My apologies for not being here more often.
Apology accepted. Tell us a little bit about what is happening in Region 7, perhaps, and then Bartica more specifically, because I know that Bartica has been basically bypassed by this government in terms of flood relief, and they've gone to lots of the riverine areas, again, being very selective in who they're giving taxpayers' money to.
Well, Bartica, Sherrod, like you would know, Bartica is just at the beginning of Region 7. Everyone knows Bartica. Bartica is popularly known as a gateway to the interior. And a lot of the mining lands and so is up within the upper Mazaruni area for persons who know there. So obviously when flood water came, I can tell you that flooding in Bartica was worse than it ever was before. We have 4 2nd going up to 3rd Avenue. I think pictures were even shared online and by various newspapers of badly persons were affected, business places completely flooded. And that is something that we're not very much used to in Bartica. Also, the riverine areas were affected with the water raising as you know, throughout the country, like it never had before. But our main issue is, and I think I saw you showcase it somewhat today on your page, is the distribution process. And we've been talking about this because it's not an issue that is unique to Bartica. It is repeating itself throughout Guyana, the process by which the PPP is distributing these foodstuff that they're the flood relief that they're taking in to the various regions. And it pains me to say that I am very disappointed, I can tell you. And even some of the local people, I say that sometimes you have your political allegiances, but when it comes to matters like this, when it comes to matters that affects everyone across the board, the least you can do is have some humanitarian heart in the way in which you go about these things. Sharon, I think you're muted. You're still muted. Still not hearing you, Sharon.
Go right ahead. I think I have back your audio.
Yes, you're back now.
Right ahead.
Yeah, so that's one of the main issue. We've been seeing photos coming out, persons, the PP representatives in the region, locally, boldly sharing pictures with them all decked out in their red, going to distribute hampers and so. And I can assure you that some of those distribution exercises that you're seeing going on there, even the local elected regional representatives were not aware of how that was being done. And I challenge anyone who wants to prove me wrong about that, because that's the fact on the ground. I know one of the distribution exercise the local representatives were made aware of, but apparently that's just for a show. And then they would have gone on with the others without even informing elected local representatives of what is going on. And this is how we see the PP operating all the time, Shared. As you would have mentioned earlier, they're coming to Parliament on Thursday, and they're going to be coming there requesting an additional $10 billion to aid with the relief that they need for the flood. And what we need to understand is that they're also coming to Parliament on Thursday with a motion to remove the chairman of the PAC. So they're coming simultaneously asking for money, and at the same time coming asking for the person in charge scrutinizing those spendings to be removed. This is the PPP that we're talking about. This is the
Yeah.
system by which they're using it. There is nothing short. It's nothing short of dictatorial, and we have to fight it with everything we have because persons' lives are at stake. The livelihood of people are at stake. And more importantly, poor people are always the ones who are affected heavily by the PPP and their cruel policies and behavior.
I'm very happy you said that. I want you to take a listen to some of what is happening currently in Region 7, where the PPP and its representatives are concerned. It seems to be an implosion happening there. People, I did say to you, get some popcorn and some Coke. I want you guys to take a listen, and then we're going to have some comments. I want to pick your brain on the other side of this MP finance. So, folks, take a listen, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to get some reactions.
I just want to say a few things
as it
as it
relates
relates
to
to
the
the
meeting on
meeting on
Sunday. Ward could verify when he WhatsApped me about inviting me for the meeting. I responded to him that I am out of Bartica and I already had a commitment to do other things, which I communicated to him. It was not a deliberate attempt to stay away from the meeting, but I had over 80 persons depending on me, my presence. So I thought it best to fulfill that obligation. However, what Ward had said on the election group what's and expressed his feelings motivated me to bring this to the group attention, and more so of what this compulsive liar Bell is going on with. I am bombarded with people telling me what Bell said about me at that meeting. And the thing that is most hurtful of all is that I question Comrade Gale's leadership with the meeting with Comrade Nandalal. I want to make it clear anyone who was at that meeting could attest to the fact that I made two statements, and I repeat them here. It had no mention of Comrade Gale's name. I said, yes, we worked as a team during the election period, and we worked successfully. But presently, the team is disintegrating. And the other statement I made, I said our party is making appointments of people, which I have no problem with. But I am saying and I'm suggesting that our party have some amount of training be done for people who are appointing. Some of the things that some of our appointees are going on with, it crawls your skin. And that is why I made those statements. I never, ever mentioned Comrade Gale's name, who I have the utmost respect for. So Bell making that statement is a total liar. I want to address the issue with Bell saying that Dr. Jaglio threw me out of the party and he had to beg Comrade Donald Ramatar to reinstate me. So therefore, Bell is bigger than Comrade Jaglio. When my party card was discarded by comrades who are with us today, some are still not with, some are not with us. Bell was nowhere around. Bell was liming and heading and associating with Brenton Archer, the then regional chairman for Bartica. He was a strong PNC person where they get involved in buying jet boats and are using Archer's duty-free concession to buy SUV. Bell was no way around. Bell, and I have proof of that, came on board in 2010 when he learned Donald was going up for president. In the presence of my friends, his brother Clarence said to us that he had to bring Stephen into politics when Comrade Donald was going up. So I don't know how he talking, but he had to beg for seat. Comrade Donald Ramatar stood out because he knew what happened with Ski Party card. Okay? The other thing I want to address is about this man talking about me. He doesn't have the courage to stand up in front of Skeet and say, this is it, Skeet. Could only talk behind my back. He talked about the RDC meeting. I am saying here tonight, I am prepared to hand my resignation in tomorrow morning for the RDC Council. If Stephen Bell could bring the minutes to show two things. When I voted against a decision of the that he proposed, or if I shoot it down, the records will have Stephen Bell raise the issue and Skeet go against it. Let him bring the minutes. The other thing he talked about that he had to defend Skeet in the RDC against Norma Thomas. Stephen said not a single word. It is a fact that Norma Thomas said Skeet does do cockwalk or inferior walker to this extent. Getting these weird ideas from to see. Bell is talking about Skeet is not paying his workers. This man is really, really losing it. Comrades, for you to have a compliance from NIS, you have to take your wages book and your employment book before you issue, where it is being inspected, who you employed, and each employer has to sign their name towards the money they receive. This man doesn't have compliance for GRA. He doesn't have compliance for NIS, so he doesn't know the procedure. All those contract work that he's doing, repairing those boats that are malfunctioning, he doesn't have contract compliance for them. The other day was big embarrassment. Then the Prime Minister team going over to Falmouth when the boat break down in the middle of the river. And this is the kind of service he's giving the region for the millions of dollars he's spending. Comrades, it hurts me. I stay in my car and I say it's nothing. And, it hurts me for hearing comrades telling you that this is how people run you down in your absence. We must be matured and talk about people when they're in your presence. Don't run down a person in their absence. Bell is talking, I have all my receipts, compliance, you name it, for all my vehicle, everything that I own. I pay my taxes. His hotel is an illegal institution, no license. And he's talking about people. When he talks about greediness, Bell got to stand up in front of mirror and then repeat who is greedy. Bell know what he's doing and what he's getting, and he's getting into contract also. He got contracts last year. I know this. Presently, he's tendering under Peter Ramstar's son's name for contract. And this is the man talking about Skeet. I am fed up and sick about it, big comrades. If the party wants me to leave, I'm willing to do this. I was made to understand that Ward said that Skeet demanded 2 contracts. Comrade, I never demanded 2 contracts, right? Anybody who is in the contracts and you attend the reading of the opening of contracts and you know your paperwork that you have done will know if you are in line for that contract. Any contractor who are a seasoned contractor will know that. I cross all my T's, dot all my I's, and every single thing the evaluation criteria require, Skeet has. From bank statement, everything for tenders. Okay? So I said to Ward, I'm almost positive that I'm recommended by the evaluation committee for 2 work. And if you check the records will show that Skeet Dukchan Trading was recommended for 2 work by the evaluation committee. So it's not that Skeet demanded 2 work. The other issue I want to talk about, Ward said that I have 3 work and haven't started any. It is a total lie. I don't know why these people are
character assassinators. All my contracts finished. All my contracts finished. And if he knows the procedure is when a contract is awarded to you, you sign the contract, the engineer has to take you what you call a site visit. My site visit for Perima Teachers Living Quarters was done on Friday because of several factors that were affected. Plane runoff the airstrip. We had to end up going from Cameron, go around by boat. And people making statements without knowing these things. Comrade, I have one contract that was awarded. I did the site visit last Friday. I purchased really over 50% of the lumber already from the community. And I don't know why people are doing these things. What is it? Skeet is not want anybody's work. I don't look at what everybody gets. It's not today Skeet doing contract. Years now, over a decade. And Ward knows the fact that I have on my desk. When I was in opposition, I tendered for work. And what happened? I came in, Lois, and I know he saw it on my desk. Comrades, I am getting fed up with Bell. I'm making my position clear. I don't even want to go back to Bell venue for any meeting. Only because of the love for my party, I tolerate it. This man is so compulsive liars that he speaks nothing truth. My brother could say to me what transpired at the meeting. And numerous other comrades, I wouldn't call the name. Up to this evening, three comrades were together and said, Skeet, imagine people are saying if you have done all of this for your party. And this is how people, because Skeet was the talk of the day by Stephen Bell, contributed by Ward. Right? My brother is proud enough of me. He's not like Clarence Bell, who is a Stephen Bell brother, talked about Stephen Bell taking off from a letter that I wrote requesting an additional vote on the service each. Took off the back page. Clarence Bell told me and my friends, we were talking. I have people could attest to that. There is talks that it's facts, it's in the records to show that this man is inflating his bills at the region and talking about me. Stand up in front of the mirror, look in front and see for yourself and then make a judgment. I'm going to forward this thing to Madhia and then I'm going to put it onto the general watch. Enough of you were laughing, enough people were giggling and things. But let them stand up in front of the mirror and talk and see, ask yourself if you better than Skeet. I challenge any one of our comrades, walk down the road and see who will greet who. Will get the most greeting from comrades within this community. Comrades, it's frustrating. Sometimes I don't even want to read the what's because this thing is getting overbearing and overbearing. I just want to isolate myself. Good evening, comrades.
And there you have it.
I just want to say a few.
MP Finance, what are your thoughts? I mean, it's so much there. It's so much there. And I'm not going to pretend I didn't hear some of that. So
Wow.
much there.
Wow. Sharon, what's interesting about what I just heard there is that this is PPP people talking about what PPP people is doing in Bartica.
No talking about PPP.
That's
and I want to pull out
new.
some of this stuff there. I want to pull out some of this stuff for your comment. This is businessman, a big businessman in Bartica, who's also a councillor at the regional democratic level. Am I right? MP Finance, you're from Region 7.
Well, actually, because I'm from Bartica directly, I was born and raised in Bartica all my life. I know all of these people. I know Skeet, I know Ward, I know Bell very well. They all know me also because Bartica is a pretty small place for those who know Bartica. So everybody knows everybody there, and it is quite damning to hear.
So, for instance, Councillor Skeet says of his colleague that Bell doesn't have compliance or for NIS and GRA as a businessman. He says he doesn't have compliance. right? He says Bell has contracts repairing boat, yet one of the boats break down with the prime minister of this country, the installed prime minister, while they were going to distribute flood relief. He says that Bell doesn't have a license to operate his hotel. MP?
Sharon, I tell you, it's some very, very strong allegations being made by his colleague, his comrade within the PPP. This is not something that I am saying. These things are new, these things are completely new to my ear. I've never heard them before.
He says that Bell is tendering on the Peter Ramatar's son, and Peter Ramatar is the regional chairman for Region 8. It's really tendering on the Peter Ramatar's son for contracts.
Well, Sherrod, listen to me. What I am going to say again is the allegations being put forward by Skeet is damning. It is shocking.
I need some popcorn and some cokes, right?
It is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. Strange enough, I think I saw today when you posted the photos with the PPP persons in Region 7 sharing out the hampers in their red. Stephen Bell was one of the persons commenting to you saying that was a lie. And here we have it. His own colleague commenting on what if it is true, if any of those things are true, and he seems very confident in what he's saying, then those things are extreme. That we have a lot of illegalities going on there.
And I'm happy you said that, because Skeet goes on to say that Bell had a boat contract that he tampered with the documents. He tore off a back page. He tampered with that.
Well, this is worse than Young and the Restless, Sherrod. I think the Bacchanal, like you rightly put it, in the PPP in Bartica, it's crazy. And we have a bunch of persons here that I'm extremely disappointed in. I know that they're going to be on. If they're not on now watching, they're going to come back and watch it later. And I can say to all three of them, actually, I can say to Skeet, I can say to Bell, and I can say to Ward that I am extremely disappointed in each and every one of you. We can go so far in politics, but when it comes to the blatant corruption, come on, man, come on.
You hit the nail on the head. You hit the nail on the head. Wait a cotton picking minute. Bills submitted to the region were inflated by Bell, according to Skeet.
According to Skeet, this is nothing that we're saying. We're not saying this. Skeet is saying that he has proof that Bell is inflating costs to the region. What nonsense is that? What nonsense is that? And I am waiting patiently. I'm glad that you have this and you're putting this out there, because I am anxiously awaiting the response from not just the PPP locally, but I'm anxiously
corruption
from the area of the region. I want to hear what they have to say about these things. Skeet is saying that Bell is getting millions of dollars looking after the boat, and then the boat break down with the prime minister. Look, Sharon, it's a good thing this is the first time I'm hearing this, honestly.
I don't know when councillors on the RDC have contracts to the RDC as well. It sounds strange and bizarre, and I hope that somebody brings this to the attention of the Auditor General.
Sharon, listen to me. The very first thing that I heard here when the very first thing that I heard is that is Skeet speaking about the fact how it crawls your skin with the things that these appointees are doing. And if the PPP representative could say that the PPP appointees, their actions crawl your skin, who am I to say otherwise? Who am I to say otherwise? This is what is going on, and it's going to be an implosion coming, because when everyone is scrambling for contracts and scrambling for the money here, there, and everywhere, like what is going on right now, it can't get anywhere good. You can't continue with it smoothly. Corruption don't have no smooth ending. It doesn't work like that, and that is what is going on in Bartica. Barticians know each and every one of these people. Barticians know what is true and what is not true. Listen to me, there are so many other allegations, things that once we have a shred of evidence we're going to put forward to the public, but there are tons of allegations against these persons. And I can say right now, I'm not even speaking about Skeet, I'm speaking specifically about the two other gentlemen in the discussion there, because there are tons of other allegations against them. And once we have the evidence, we will put it to the public, because you cannot continue to do things that are of a corrupt nature and expect persons not to be speaking out about it. Bartica is small, and once you continue to do anything that is perceived as lawlessness, the people will speak out, because on
Oh my.
the coalition the last
Oh
5
my.
years, the transformation in Bartica
Oh my.
was remarkable. It was absolutely remarkable, and we're not going to allow persons to drag us down
Yeah.
to that state like the PPP wants to drag us. I am happy that Skeet spoke. He probably didn't intend for it to get to the ears of everybody else, but I'm happy that it got here however it did, because persons need to understand what is going on. But Sherrod, it was what is most astonishing for me to listen to is the comfort at which the discussion went in matters that we would be considering corrupt matters. Is like, oh, and this is happening here, and why you're talking about this, and this is happening there. It's like normal chit chat.
Yeah. And if he sent this to Gail, then Gail knows, because Skid says, I was sending it to Comrade Gail. You understand me? So that would be incredible that Gail Teixeira a sitting minister would have this information of wrongdoing and has not said anything publicly. I want to walk us through some of it because it is so incredible. Bell says here, Skeet, Bell's colleague at the RDC, there's a counselor and a businessman who says that Bell doesn't have NIS nor GRA for his workers. He doesn't pay NIS, he doesn't pay GRA for his workers. This is according to Bell. Skeet. He goes on to say that he has this contract for repairing boats, but he has tampered with those contract documents. That's according to Skeet. Skeet goes on to say that the boat breakdown with the PM. I sorry, other things didn't happen. Nonetheless, he goes on to say that he doesn't have a license. Skeet says this, that Bell doesn't have a license to operate his hotel in Bartica. Right? He goes on to say that Bell is tendering under the Region 8 chairman, Peter Ramatar, under his son, which is illegal. You understand me? He's tendering for contracts under Peter Ramatar. This is Bell. He goes on to say that that again, bills were submitted to the region for contract work done, and those costs, according to Skeet, were inflated.
Yep. Sherrod, it's crazy. It's let me tell you something. Persons wouldn't know. Both Skeet and Bell are businessmen. Both of them. Both of them are also counselors representing the PPP at the level of the RDC and Bartica. Ward that they're referring to there is the Prime Minister's representative in Bartica. Mm-hmm. Also on the tender board in Bartica. Persons don't know is the region 7. That's the tender board consists of the PPP and the PPP alone, matters which are of grave concern. So these people carrying on at a rate, as you say, is bare Bacchanal. That is what is going on there. Everybody scrambling to fill the pockets at every level. Yeah. That is what is going on. And again, I come back to the fact that whilst all of this is going on, the PPP is going to be coming to Parliament again on Thursday, and they're going to be requesting $10 billion, and simultaneously trying to remove the chairman of the PAC because they want to collect money and do whatever they want to do with it, and to hell with the process of scrutinizing the way in which they spend the money. They do not want to be scrutinized. They just want to have a process that is a free-for-all. They don't care how it looks to the international community. They care not. I'm looking at the process, and I'm looking at the motion brought by Gail to remove David Patterson as chair of the PAC. And I'm thinking to myself, probably Gail is tired. Probably she's just ready to...
He needs to bring a motion to remove these jagabats from the council in Bartica, the RDC in Region 7. That is the motion.
The man is saying that he's actually going to send that voice note to her. So it would be damning for him to have sent that voice note to her, and for her to take absolutely no action. And those allegations are extremely strong allegations. And then you're going to go to Bartica, and you're going to go and arm in arm with these very people. Mind you, Sherrod, the same person, Madam Teixeira, is the one bringing the motion against David Patterson for an accusation. He can't serve share with PSC because
camp.
there's an allegation. Yet she have her own comrades within the party in Region 7 making such damning allegations against the sitting councillor, and nothing is to be done. Well, probably this is the first time she's hearing it, like so many others, and hopefully she acts the same way in which she's acting with that motion against Mr. Patterson. I want to see the motion go against the councillor sitting at the RDC level in Region number 7.
MP Finance, in 10 short months, we've had Guy Oil, right? In 10 short months, we've had Guy Oil. In 10 short months, we have had COVID cash grant scandal. The Auditor General doing a investigation, an audit, a forensic audit on the COVID cash grant. He can't give you the results yet, but we are directing his attention to 7 of what's happening at the RDC, right? We have had a racket with medical supplies, right? We have had a housing scheme racket with the distribution of land. We got a racket happening at GWI. We had the fuel racket at Guyal. We see the confusion at GPL, right? All of that. Regional tender boards. This is just emblematic what's happening in Region 7 of what is happening throughout this country with the tender boards. We got the quarry mining racket, road construction racket, Gaisuko racket, right? Bank of Guyana printing money racket, pensioners pay racket, right? Gas to shore pipeline Region 3 racket. You name it. This corrupt administration has wasted no time. These zebras have returned to their stripes.
Yep.
They can't change. I am dumbfounded by what I am hearing here. Instead of you would think something wholesome, these people talking about how they're going to develop this country, how they're going to help these citizens out of this quagmire of flood and COVID and all this. Thief. It's thief nonstop. You understand me? You know, Skit had me at bills for the region inflated. Right? And now Gail is in possession of this, and she bringing what? Motion against Patterson? Oh, sweet Jesus, y'all see the speck in your brother eyes, but the log in you on, you ain't seeing Gail. Shame on all of you. Shame and disgrace. Every finance.
Sherrod, these things have been going on forever. The difference is, and I keep saying it, before 2015, these things just didn't come to the eyes of the public as it is being put to the eyes of the public right now. When the PPP was in government before, the same thing happened. So when they went back into office, they just continued from where they left off. That's what they did, right? So that's what the difference is right now. Persons are making it aware. Persons are being aware faster because of technology, because of all the efforts put by the coalition for persons to be properly connected and for communication to flow more smoothly. Now we're being able to see what truly goes on within PPP. And I am so happy that tonight, it's not just you coming online or someone that is perceived to be a support of the coalition that is making allegations against the PPP. Tonight, we heard from the horse's mouth. And tonight, the statements are damning. Anybody listening to that, it's crawling our skin to just listen to what is going on. As a person from Bartica, it crawls my skin to listen to what goes on. The persons that walks around with their head held high as though they mean something and they mean good. The allegations being made against those persons, damning and Bartica, just listen to every single word.
My God, I can't even believe some of what I'm hearing here. You understand me? It's a pack of thieves, corrupt. They have lived up to their name, right? Corrupt. And the installed vice president was talking the other day, but a perception is a perception that PPP corrupt. It's a perception, oh, there's push drugs and allow people to pass with drugs. No, it's the truth. It's the truth, right? And Skit told us it's the truth. You understand me? It's the truth. Right? And Gail, shame on you. Having this information in your possession and you bring in motion, Jesus, man. How you all just live with yourself. MP Finance, I want to thank you for joining the program this evening and sharing your thoughts, giving us some guidance on this very, very important matter. And we're going to continue to put the information out there. We want to thank those persons especially that trust us with this kind of information, folks. We are here to serve you. We are here to serve the people of this country. That's what we are here for, and not this corrupt cabal that we have. It's just for themselves. You understand? And some of them building big houses off of COVID cash grant money, and some of them opening big stores and shop off of the flood relief. Corrupt.
Well, we can assure people that everything that is done in those regards, we will make persons aware of it, because that's our job. It's our job to monitor them, to see every single thing that they're doing. And we will continue to do that all the time. Sure, I know Region 7 Bartica specifically basically took up your entire show this evening. So I am very much thankful that you actually had the time and that you had that information to put forward to the public. And I'm thank you for having me tonight.
Thanks for being here. Folks, continue to observe all your COVID-19 protocols. The very basic ones are social distancing, wear your mask, sanitize, stay safe, folks. Stay safe. And we're ready for y'all. We're ready for y'all, PPP. Let's fight.